So good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. The grind is on. We are not finished yet. Plenty more content to come as well. Saturday, well, it's Saturday now because I've dropped this at midnight UK time. But I will be probably doing a watch along on Lee Reacts, most likely, if I'm awake anyway. But I will be doing a watch along if I am awake for the early kickoff, the Spurs away game against Wolves. And then Super Sun. Oh, and then I'll be back on here for the Arsenal watch along, fan cams and all of that. And then Sunday, I will be doing both the watch alongs on Lee Reacts as well. So make sure you sub to that channel. Come on, people, get it done. Let's get that boxed off. Sub to this channel as it stands. As I record this at 10 to 6 in the evening. We are currently sat, and I have done a show. Well, I haven't done it yet. I'm doing it in about an hour and a half with Henry Wright. 34 subs away from 89k. So hopefully by the end of that show with Henry, it would have been done. But if not, sub. Leave your comments and super chats down below. Anyway, let's get straight into this. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It doesn't rain, it pours at Arsenal, doesn't it? After the news that came out of nowhere that Kai Havertz took home win, we now are being told by the mainstream media, which again you have to take with a pinch of salt, that Thomas Partey has undergone minor surgery. Yeah, okay. We're also apparently likely to miss out on Ivan Toney, because according to the reports all over the internet, Arsenal are considering switching their January transfer focus to signing a midfielder after Thomas Partey suffered a fresh injury blow. The Gunners have been expected to seek a new forward in the next window, with Brentford striker Ivan Toney the club's main priority. But there are major concerns that Partey will miss a significant chunk of the season. Mail Sport, Sammy Mockbell, I don't know whether I trust this guy. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe, do you know what I'm saying? Understands that the Ghana international has undergone a minor surgery treatment procedure as he continues to recover from a thigh injury. Partey is set to miss the rest of the year at least, but the lack of clarity, obviously that is a thing at Arsenal Football Club because they want to keep everything hush-hush unless it benefits them. The lack of clarity over when he may become available again means Arsenal are ready to change tact. That's a good word, isn't it? Tact in the transfer market. Yeah. Now, Thomas Partey's played, 13 minutes in the last 11 games or so. We played a little bit against the USA for Ghana. We actually sent our physio, I think it was, or medical staff. Somebody from the medical staff went on Ghana international duty with Thomas Partey. Obviously, all that's for the cameras. Yeah, that's all for the cameras. Yeah, like maybe that is a thing. Maybe teams do send their own staff on international duty to keep tabs on the player. Maybe they do. I don't know. But all this screams to me is, well, we knew he was going to be injured at some point anyway, because he is every single season somehow injured, despite having no injuries whatsoever previously before joining Arsenal Football Club. So it makes you wonder even more why we went and spent, and I said Kai Havertz, and I've said it again, uno, dos. He's known as 29 on this channel. My bad. Sorry. Lo siento. Anyway, he is known as 29. It makes you wonder why we signed 29 instead of actually going out there and spending that money on a proper midfielder, or maybe spending that money on two midfielders, maybe adding a little bit extra to it and getting two midfielders. But this all comes back to the transfer window. And for 2 summers, anyone who's watched this channel religiously knows I'm screaming and shouting, and getting irate, getting very upset, getting very animated about more midfielders coming to the club. Great, we've signed Declan Rice, fantastic. But we needed another one. The other one is not 29. I'm sorry. You can try and convince yourselves, lie to yourselves, try and call other people that you need to have a greater understanding of the game to understand what he does. No, I don't, mate. These work perfectly fine. Yeah, they work perfectly fine. And let me tell you right now, yeah, he ain't very good. My eyesight is decent, as you can see there. Anyway, we move on. But we obviously need a midfielder. Now, everyone, all of a sudden, all of the top gooners, all of the ones on the payroll, all of the ones indirectly on the payroll, all of the super fans, everyone's starting to turn their attention to Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz. So let me get this straight. We bid for Douglas Luiz last summer, deadline day. Oh, look, we tried. We then raised that bid by about $1 million, which still wasn't anywhere near their valuation. We then raised it again by about another $1.5 million, which again was swiftly rejected. And everyone, the fallout, we don't want Douglas Luiz, he's rubbish. So what you're telling me is that a decent manager, and he is a decent manager in good evening, goes into Villa. Douglas Luiz starts scoring goals, starts playing really well, and all of a sudden, top gooners are now sitting there convincing themselves that this guy is the guy that we need in midfield. Okay, 11 matches this season, he's played all of them. 5 goals, 1 assist, 4 yellow cards. He's 1 away from a suspension. EFL Cup, 1 game, no goals. But transfer market, or transfer marked as it is, having valued at 55 million quid. However, he is only 25, and we know that Arsenal fans love somebody 25 and below, because we have to keep this Epstein FC. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you know, you know. But he's also Brazilian, and we know that we can get Brazilians in this club. His total this season, including the Conference League qualifiers, he's played 18 games, 6 goals, 2 assists, 5 yellow cards in total. 1 was in the EFL Cup. He's played 1,345 minutes this season, which is pretty much nearly all the games, I suppose. Conference League he's played 158 minutes out of 4 games. So he's played half the games. Qualifiers, he played nearly all the games, nearly the 2 games he completed 159 minutes. EFL Cup, the 1 game they played, he played the full minutes. And he's played 938 minutes in the Premier League out of what? 990 minutes. So he's played pretty much all the games. However, if you go back to last season and have a look at his stats, because this was the season after. So that season ended, and then the summer window. No, it was January. I'm lying. It was the January window we bid for this guy. I stand corrected. He scored a total of 7 goals and got 6 assists. Now that's pretty much on par with Granit Xhaka. So now they started trying to convince themselves that this guy can come in and do a job. What does that even mean? Oh, he can do a job. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Like, honestly. But he can do a job. I don't want somebody to do a job. I want somebody to win me a title, mate. Can he win me a title? I don't believe he can. I don't believe he can. And as I've said before, these people, they've infested this fan base with their fake toxic positivity. Yeah, they're a big problem. And any player they really, really want, I don't. Yeah, none of this lot wanted Ivan Toney. Now they're convincing themselves they want Ivan Toney. Like, you didn't want Ivan Toney because Eddie could do a job. 29 could do a job. Jorginho running around with the armband on can do a job. Mohamed El Neni can do a job. Why do you want this guy? Why do you want this guy? And why is that now stopping us getting Ivan Toney? Because apparently it's been put out there again by the mainstream media. Take it with a pinch of salt or whatever you want. Yeah, we're struggling with the FFP. You know, we've not really got a lot of money to spend, so it's one or the other. It's not quite. And this is exactly what this club do. We are always 3 players short of being elite. We are always 3 players short of being that club, of being that top team. And this is the problem when you go out and spend money on the likes of 29, yeah, the likes of 35. Always an issue, because just them 2 players alone cost 100 million. That 100 million could have got you Douglas Luiz, could have got you Ivan Toney, could have kept Kieran Tierney. Oh, but he's always injured. Really? Number 35 is injured more than him. Go and check transfer marks. Go and have a look how many days out they've had. Yeah, go and have a look how many injuries they've had. Go and have a look how many games they've played as well. But Tierney plays less games. Rubbish. He's played about 50 games more in his career. And funny enough, they're the same age. There's always a narrative spin. There's always something, isn't it? Oh, we haven't got much money to spend. Or maybe you shouldn't be wasting 35 million on Fabio Vieira. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be wasting 65 million on 29 and 30 million on 35. Like, do you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, our recruitment stinks at times. Yeah, but you just have to be positive and back it. I don't want Douglas Luiz at this football club. I don't want him here. Don't want him here. What's the point? Go and get me somebody decent. Yeah, real decent. Somebody top class. There's top class midfielders out there. Go and find one. Again, it's yet another Brazilian. Somebody that our fans didn't want, but now they're going to want him. Because if Arteta wants him, I want him. This is what we're dealing with at this football club. Yeah, the fact and reality is this club ain't skint. It's not in trouble with FFP. Yeah, I don't care what anyone tells me. It is not in trouble with FFP. So go and get me the best players that we can get to elevate us to a title. Ivan Toney, I believe, gets us closer, but we need a top-class midfielder and we need a top-class right winger. So then we don't have to keep flogging Bukayo Saka to death. What do I know? I'm negative and toxic. Leave your comments down below. Big up to everyone who's tuned in. Smash the likes up. And like I said, as it stands right now, we're 33 subs away from the 89K. I want that done and dusted. Hopefully it'll be done by the stream with Henry. Go and check that out. I'm on with rants. As soon as I get off of this, I'm on with rants. In fact, I'm a minute late. So go and check that out. I did a show with It's LB, Man City fan, early today, 12 hours ago. And I've done a watch along for Athletic Bilbao, Athletic Club against Celta Vigo. So go and check that out as well on Lee Reacts. That channel is millimeters away, literally about 30 away as well from 21K. So let's go and build that channel up so I can slow down on this one and stop being so angry and negative and toxic. Have a blessed evening. Ciao, mi amigos.